President.
The senator from Washington.
Mr. President, I joined my colleague from Colorado to come to the floor to talk about the President's misguided decision earlier today to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. This program, put in place by the last administration, gave the certainty and predictability to so many young children brought to the United States through not their own actions, but other actions. And as my colleague talked story after story, young people who've literally applied for college aid only to find out that they were not here legally and could not pursue that kind of financial assistance. That's why since 2001 I've been a supporter of the DREAM Act, and tonight I cannot believe that this is the message from this president. In a remarkable act of courage and trust, 17,500 young Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival DACA recipients are working and contributing to the economy in my state, in the state of Washington. These recipients must submit biographical information and biometric information, allow State Department, Homeland Security, federal agencies to complete background checks. They've never committed a felony, they must have a job and be in school or served in the military. So ending this program is literally taking workers out of our state, taking gross domestic product and over $1 billion that it will cost our nation over the next several years. The President's decision to end DACA runs counter to the long-standing and proud history in our state welcoming immigrants. Dreamers invest in their communities, they pay state and local taxes, and in fact, the Chamber of Commerce supports this program, as does a majority of Americans. And over 300 business leaders agree that Dreamers help us build a better and more prosperous America. Just today, one of our key companies, one of their key Microsoft executives said he'd rather have legislation to protect these individuals in immigration reform than to have tax reform. That's how important it is to our state. So I'm glad my colleagues, Senator Durbin and Graham, held a bipartisan press conference to talk about supporting this important legislation to move forward. Tonight, as we're returning to the United States Senate with lots of priorities, we need to make sure that we are giving young people who have benefited from the security of participating in our economy, the certainty that they will continue to be here in the United States and to serve in our military. I hope that my colleagues will take this serious and move towards legislation. We have worked on a bipartisan basis on this legislation for more than a decade. And yet it is simple. You either want to protect these young individuals or you don't. I hope my colleagues will give us a chance to rectify this as soon as possible.